Good evening, guys. What's up? This is Gina Ifoe, the one and only African superstar, coming with a live stream. I want to talk about this current event. I want to give a big shout out to the customers of the Afrikansuperstar.com. Big shout outs to all of you. Big shout outs to our members only. I did post a new members only video today. So go check that in the community tab. And I also, last but not least, want to give a big shout outs to those of you that have contributed to our music project. We are preparing to shoot the second video. It is happening in the very near future for Ghana is Good For Me, which is my second single. So I will be shooting that video momentarily. Big shout outs to everyone who has contributed on that to help get, the project going. Now, you guys can continue to support because there are 4 other tracks that need to meet the light of day. So your financial support of this project is much, much needed. Big shout outs to those of you that are here. Make sure you leave something in the comments so that I can greet you. Today, I want to talk about a current event. Now, there is a young lady who is a celebrity. I never heard of her before. But she created a splash because she recently visited Ghana for the first time, and she had such positive things to say. She actually said that Ghana was the most beautiful country that she's ever seen. And she began to get a lot of backlash on her social media regarding these, these comments that she made. Some of the comments were, Black Americans are always making a big deal about Africa, and you should shut up, and you don't know what you're talking about. And a lot of these comments were being made by continental Africans, young Africans here on the continent. So I want to talk about this tonight. Big shout outs to Jolie, one of our members only. Members only are designated by that circle. She's the first in the chat room tonight. Big shout outs to her. And make sure you check the community tab, Jolie, if you haven't. I did post a new members only video for you guys today. What's up, Matron on a mission out there in Egypt? Happy New Year, guys. If I haven't yet, wish you Happy New Year. Happy New Year. So tonight I want to talk about why can't Ari Lennox have an opinion? So the story goes a little bit like she actually took her comments down about Africa. She deleted her, I believe it was a tweet or Instagram or whatever, where she was talking about how she loved Ghana and everything like that. And, obviously you guys know, had it been me, I would have been deleting anything. People that don't like what I have to say just wouldn't like what I have to say. What I have to say is, those of us that are living on the continent understand a little bit of the perspective of continental Africans about the West, okay? And those of us that live on the continent have had conversations with continentals where we have expressed why we're here, why we moved, and there's a big disconnect there. So the perception that, Black Americans, for instance, are coming to Africa and they're having this experience and they love the continent and all these things is a bit far-fetched for continentals. That coupled with the fact social media is a place for anonymous criticism, okay? People can say things and type things that they would never say to your face and things like that. And it is a malicious place. Obviously, if you say crazy things or you say offensive things, that get you attention, and unfortunately, so many people in this 2022 modern day are attention seeking. But my question is, why can't this young lady have, for instance, her opinion of the continent? What is so offensive of her coming to Ghana and enjoying it? And I would say, family, if you're on social media, if you plan on having a social media presence at some point, sometime, you have to be prepared to deal with this. Okay? You have to be prepared to deal with erroneous people, comments, and criticisms of you, what you have to say, and blah, blah, blah. Okay? If you put something out there, be prepared to stand by the statements that you make. You know, I don't know why the young lady was pressured to take her statements down. That's how she felt. That's the experience that she had. No one else can negate that if it's true or false. I heard from, one of our family members saying that, the fact that Continentals were making these comments was a little discouraging and stuff like that. Well, listen, I got to tell you guys that the prevention of us uniting is a global effort. Okay? So what diasporians have to start doing, and what would be very wise for them to consider, is that, first of all, they are not the only group of Black people in the world. Huh? Did you guys just hear me? If you guys heard what I said, let me see a number one. Diasporians need to understand they're not the only group of people, Black people in the world. Okay? Black people globally have been dealing with various challenges. You have those in the Caribbean, okay, that have been going through their unique challenges. You have those in Europe that have been going through their unique challenges. You have those on the continent that have been going through their unique challenges. You have those in Asia that are going through their unique challenges. South America, okay? We have to understand that at the same time, for instance, Black Americans were experiencing civil rights, Jim Crow, the transatlantic slave trade. Our brothers and sisters around the world were also going through their own circumstances. What that means is while we were being beaten and mistreated and all that stuff in America, people here on the continent were being colonized. And all of these things were happening simultaneously to prevent unity among the diaspora. What that really means in the grand scheme of things is when you come to the continent, please do anticipate cultural differences and challenges. I have said this multiple times. I'm a very mature person, a very futuristic person. I anticipate all these things. That's why I'm able to have a smoother transition. Some of you guys are immature. Let me just tell you, you're immature. You're coming to Africa, you're expecting a utopia, you're expecting a place devoid of problems, you're expecting a place where, you're going to be warmly welcomed and everybody's going to be so excited that you're there. That is not realistic. I encourage you to take in the fact, like I said, that people here on the continent have been experiencing their own unique challenges while we were experiencing whatever we were experiencing out abroad. And so to those here on the continent, the vast majority of them, the opportunity is in the West. Okay? They don't understand our transition here. They don't understand our love of the continent. They can't fathom why we would trade the infrastructure of the West and the conveniences and access to, the big cities and forego all that stuff to come be here where you might have water challenges and electricity challenges, where you're going to deal with rough roads, and they can't fathom it. It's part of it. What this young lady should have done is use this as a teaching point. But I know she's not the African superstar. Huh? I know she's not. Because when you say what you say, you say what you say. There's no reason why this will happen. Let me see if I can get some of the comments that were made. So Matrella on a Mission says she's not understanding who the Continentals are and why they would attack her page. Well, basically, the sentiment that I got from, the comments that I saw was that this woman was exaggerating her visit to Ghana, that she was gushing, that she loved it. And some of the people that were making comments, and again, we don't necessarily know that these people are really Continentals. We don't know who they are. People can set up bots, they can set up fake accounts and all this stuff. I have actually not experienced the sentiment here of people rejecting me, telling me I should go back home, telling me this and that. They may not necessarily understand why I'm here, but there's never been like a negative connotation. So I was actually surprised. But I know that it made the news that she took down her comments. So let me see if I can find some of the deleted comments or whatever. Hold on. I gotta deal with this dodgy phone. Big shout outs, family. If you're here, please make your presence be known. I'm gonna greet. So far, I only see Matrella on a Mission and Jolie in the chat room and Johnson, but it says there's over 20 of you guys. Are you guys spectators? Huh? Did you just come to watch me? Because y'all know I don't really like that too much. Let's see here. Let's see what the comments were. Yeah, so if you guys are just joining, I'm talking about a artist named Ari Lennox. She recently came to visit Ghana and she was gushing about how Ghana was the most beautiful country in the world and that she loved it. And people began to go onto these social media posts and kind of insult her. And, it got to the point where she recently deleted the tweets that, let me see here. I can't seem to find it. What's going on? So that's what I'm talking about tonight. I'm talking about this dynamic. I'm having a little bit of issues trying to locate. All right. At this time, I'm also going to open up the call lines. If you guys have anything to add to this, go ahead. I'm still trying to find the comments. I did see them earlier. Linux. Okay. All right. So Ari deletes the tweets and the Instagram post. What's up, Paquezi? I see you. This is my experience as well in Brown Sugar One. I've never had that kind of reaction here on the continent, so I was a bit surprised. Prince Ayoko, what's up? What's up? What's up? I'm gonna look into her music following this, but I have never heard of her before this. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to read the news article for you guys. The call lines are open if you want to add anything on this topic. Award-winning R&B singer Ari Lennox has deleted all her posts on Twitter and her Ghana-related posts on Instagram after some social media users criticized her over them. Lennox came to Ghana to perform at the Afrochella concert on December 28th and took the opportunity to tour parts of Accra. The Pressure singer wrote about Ghana, and she said, and I quote, "Wow, it's a rare and good feeling to consistently wake up with peace and happiness. I really owe that to Ghana." In another post, Lennox talked about crying during her first visit to the beach and aching for her ancestors. She said she didn't feel alone. It was a surreal experience. The singer added that she felt it was nice to get away from depression and anxiety. However, these posts generated unexpected reactions from some Twitter users. Some found it corny that Lennox, like many of her colleagues in the diaspora who traveled, sought connection with her ancestors. Other social media users outrightly laughed at her posts. Others felt her reaction to the country was ingenuine, especially since they do not have the same experiences that she's having. One user wrote, "It's back again. This woman thinks she's in Wakanda. This is so corny. Oh my God." Another wrote, are your ancestors even from Ghana? One user even told the singer to shut the F up, while another claimed Americans will never stop fetishing Africa. This, among many other tweets and replies underneath her Instagram post, seemed to influence the singer to delete the post. Prior to deleting all her tweets, Lennox wrote, "The internet shit is such a lie." Okay. So that's the actual story of what happened. So I mean, there's so many things to dissect on this. Okay. First of all, we don't really know that the people that responded are continentals. So I can retract that statement, so to speak. We don't actually know that these are actual continentals, because those of us that travel to the continent and live here have never had that kind of response from continentals. All right. Number one. Number two, it does kind of sound like something white people would do, or Black Americans, angry, them people, them fundamental, Black Americans. Ghana is in the spotlight. A lot of people are, a bit upset about those of us that have moved on, exploring the continent. There's just so many things to dissect, on this topic. Let's see. We got Prince Ayoko on the call. Hello, how are you doing?
Hello, Sister Gina.
Hi, sweetheart. Happy New
I'm good.
Year.
Happy more returns. I pray
Thank
that
you.
next year will be more year for abundance of progresses, good health, long life, prosperity for all.
Thank you.
That's
So, what do you have to add to this topic?
my prayers. All right, so it's been a while since I got, sorry, we nearly lost the connection. Yeah, so it's been a while since I got into your chat, and you just brought this up that I'm trying to just, give a little bit of contribution. You see, life is a battle. Life itself is a battle. But under normal circumstances, life is very simple. So the way you live your life and the way others live their life is what makes life much more easier. But then, like, to we those who are at home, like you, for instance, Sister Gina, I can tell that you've had the Ghanaian experience much more than a lot of people who has visited the continent of Africa. I'm not talking about only Ghana,
Yeah.
but I'm talking about, the continent of Africa as in general. Because, whilst you are in Accra over there, you mingle with Nigerians, you mingle with different nationals from different parts of West Africa. And, maybe some parts of Africa that, that is in Ghana. So this is one thing that I have to share with our brothers and sisters tonight, including you, because you have had much experience. So to some of the things that I would say, you've already experienced them. It's like the whole thing is like, first of all, we've been separated for a long time, a very long period of time. Years, hundreds and hundreds of years ago, that we were being separated. And then it got to a point that we have to come back together again as one people. People are talking about African unity. People are talking about Black unity. People are talking about all kind of unity with regards to the Black race. But then, how can we do to put this in place, like to make the unity work? That is the biggest question.
Mm.
Sometimes the mouth don't have just to talk, but then the mindset is what makes it 100% understandable. You know, I've been following your channel for a long time, if I'm not mistaken, for almost like 2 years now. You are in Ghana, you share things about Ghana, you talk a lot about Ghana. When you went to the US, you were talking about Ghana, and a couple of days you came back. I've been monitoring everything that you share on your channel, and it inspires me. It inspires me because you see, we those at home in Africa and those in the diaspora, we are one family. We are one big family. But the whole thing is to we those who are here, like people who are very focused and wants to learn, especially learn from the brothers and sisters in the diaspora from their point of view about what they see. You have lived in the diaspora and you are living in Africa. So the experience that you have about the diaspora, I've never had this kind of experience.
Mm-hmm.
So when you get to share some things like that, for people who wants to learn, they will take their time and listen. So in the process of listening to whatever you share, that is what will make them have an idea about what is going on. What I'm trying to make, the kind of point that I'm trying to make tonight is that you see, as Black people, we are one people. The word hate or hatred, wherever you see it, it brings destruction. H-A-T-E, hate, or H-A-T-R-E-D, hatred. Whenever you see these two words, it goes with like our left and then our right. It doesn't have any differences. Whenever you see it, it's a destructive tool, it's a destructive word. And at the same time, it's just hateful word that will bring people, back to crawl again. When a person is starting to walk, they will start to crawl, then they will start to learn how to walk, and then they'll walk. So whenever you see people, there are some people, like especially we the Black races, or we the Black race, whenever someone is trying to to lift, like whenever people are trying to lift up themselves, then these people, that is the kind of people who are said all of this stuff that makes you to come on live. About the sister who visited Ghana and they were saying so much things about her and whatever. These are the kind of people that is kind of bringing the distraction. These are the kind of people that is fighting the unity that we're going to have from now till the future. First of all, it is said that travel and see. When you do not travel, trust me, you cannot see. Experience is the best teacher in life. So when a person travels, like for instance, when I travel to Asia, to Europe, to any place, and then spend some time there, and then have the experience, I know what I've learned there. And I know, what can take me to live there, what can inspire me to live there. No one has to teach me to go through all of this. But when I have the travel experiences, it can encourage me to live at a particular place that I've traveled to. This doesn't have to take anyone to teach me. So to people, especially our brothers and sisters from the diaspora that has traveled down here in Africa, in any part of Africa, when they have some experiences, at least if they want others to benefit from their experiences, they will share it. Be it the truth experience, be it the false experience, or even when they pretend, they will still share that to people. But then when you learn from someone, like when you go to school and you learn from your teacher, you always learn what the teacher teach you, or maybe what the teacher taught you. And at the end of the day, that is what you also use to teach others. But make sure you learn from good teachers. You see what I'm saying? So this particular issue of people coming to Africa have a good experience and share it. People coming to Africa have a bad experience. Look, I always say this: we have two types of travelers. We have people who are just tourists. They are just trying to come to your place, live for a little bit and go. And then we have people who are traveling with different kind of missions, like they want to come to Africa because they know they belong here in Africa. Though there's one thing that is involved. I never see someone from the diaspora not to belong there. They belong there and they belong here as well, because it is, the same ancestors who has taken the seeds over there and planted. It's just like when you plant a seed and then the seed got germinated, and then at the same time, within some time, when the seed got matured and give you some other seeds, and then you took it to a different place and plant. It's like we, those at home, and our brothers and sisters in the diaspora, as in general, be it in the Caribbean, be it in America or Europe or any part of the world, as long as we are all from the same seed, that makes us to be one people. But then, there is a lot of African Americans, they don't want to even call Africa their home. That is their thought. To me, I don't blame anyone about that. That is how they think. And to those who want to call Africa their home, at the same time call the West their home, that is the same way they thought. And to those who want to just call Africa alone their home, or call over there their home, that is their thought. Everyone has the right to decide their own destiny. But then,
yeah, I mean, the thing is that unfortunately, the people that are choosing to call America their home, for instance, they seem to be unnerved by others choosing something else, because if the girl comes to Ghana and she talks about her experience, that's her experience. That's her right. You know what I mean? That's how she felt. That's what she wanted to share. It's not for anybody to discredit. And it's always the people discrediting the experience of the diaspora here in Africa that have not yet traveled. So it's like they're coming from a standpoint of that couldn't possibly be true, but they have no experience to back up whatever their viewpoint. You know what I mean? It'd be different if it's like, say you go to Asia, for instance. And I've also been to Asia. And then you come and you say, oh my goodness, there's money trees everywhere in Asia. The money was just falling off the tree. And I can say, well, actually, I've been to Asia and that's not the case. This is my experience in Asia. But a lot of the people that are negating Africa, the African option, or the experience of people from the diaspora, they haven't even been here. They don't even know Africa, and they're trying to discredit. So it's kind of, it's kind of ridiculous. But I wanted to, I appreciate your comments on it, because I mean, it is such a rich topic. It's such a rich topic. But I did definitely want to bring it up because it's a current event. And I probably think I personally can't see continentals being the ones to have that perspective. You know, living here, living among them. If anything, it could be maybe African migrants that are living in the West, because a lot of them, you know, are not with the movement of coming back. And a lot of them also try to discourage, you know, for instance, Black Americans or Black British to come back to Africa. You know, we've heard a lot of that. So it could be them. It could be the ADOS people. It could be white people. It could be, you know, it's online. So we have no idea of knowing who has actually done this. You
Oh
know
my
what I
God.
mean? But I think that she should have stood her ground. You know, I
Yeah.
personally think she should have stood her ground and not been pressured. Um, you know, but there was an important point in the chat room that Matrell on a Mission said, and it's on the screen. It says, I think she was pressured by her handlers because her client base is American. So, you know, she's gone to Ghana. She's gone to Africa, where the perception from the West is that, you know, this is a desolate place, a dirty place. There's nothing here. You know, there's nothing of worth here. And she says, hey, this is better than any other country I've ever been. This country, you know, that's not what Americans want to hear. So, I mean, there's so many,
God.
you know, pieces to this,
This
you
is
know, but
Sister Gina.
I definitely think she should have just kind of shrugged it off. She could even also turn off the comments on the post and, you know, just let that be that. You know what I mean? Because I think her doubling back just, you know, kind of
Sister
gave in to the detractors. Yeah, that's what
Sister
I
Gina.
think.
You know, Sister Gina, there's one thing that I always tell people who are around me and people who are beyond me. That is like people who sometimes listen to what I share with them. You see, when you are having a purpose in life, when you know your purpose in life, like the main reason why you're doing what you're doing, you don't put so much purpose to people who distracts you, like people
Right.
who make comments that will distract you. Sometimes when you do this, you'll be counted among them. When you focus on people who are having some kind of lower energies, like some kind of bad
Yeah.
energies, when you focus so much about what they say about you, at the end of the day, they'll be much better than you. Because those kind of people, I always consider those kind of people to be like lost people who are lost, or people who are kind of losers, like who are people who are kind of losers.
I mean,
And
they are losers.
those kind of
They're losers
people,
because they're focused on someone else. You know, like for
exactly,
instance, we have people that come on our channel. Big shout outs to Antoinette. Our members only supporting with that super chat. I see you there, sweetheart. Big shout outs to you.
yeah.
But I mean, they are losers. I mean, let's just be frank about it, Prince, because they have the opportunity. I saw actually a TikTok the other day that says
Mhm,
we all have the same 24 hours that Beyonce does. Okay.
mhm.
Now, obviously, Beyonce has a lot more money and accessibility and staff and blah, blah, blah. But it really, at the end of the day, it really is the truth. You know,
Yeah.
in this case, that lady has that artist. She's a musician. I'm not familiar with her music, but she's a musician. She traveled to the motherland and she's sharing her experiences. Now, there's people that are commenting on this that haven't even probably left their state or city or
Right.
whatever. There's
Right.
people, you know, uneducated people, all kind of weirdos and, you know, all kind of stuff. And they could be taking that energy and directing it into their life, you know, if they wanted to be curious about maybe what she said and say, you know what, I need to kind of see what this movement's about, because a lot of people are going over to Africa and having similar things to say. They could investigate it, you know, maybe they could debunk it if they want to, But I mean, they are losers. Let's just call it. You know, people that, for instance, come in my chat room on my channel, knowing what the subject matter is, when they disagree and want to put comments in my chat, are losers, right? Because they can go to any other chat room that supports their views and values, but instead they're here being a loser, watching me, watching you, watching us. And it's like, you know, that, I mean, you said it perfect. That's the perfect word
My
for them.
sister, my sister.
That is the perfect word.
These people, you know, do you know the name that I call these people? I call
What
them so.
teach us some Doc Bonnie. What's the word?
I
What's the
call
word in
them.
Doc Bonnie?
I call them.
What's the word in
Yeah,
Doc Bonnie?
yeah, I know the name to this kind of people.
What's the
Okay,
word
so
in Doc Bonnie?
this kind of people we call them naponani lenjimanima pohamzo
Okay.
naponani lenjimanima
Okay, what does
pohamzo
it mean?
naponani lenjimanima. It means social media foot soldiers. This, these people are social media foot soldiers. They fight on something that they don't know what they're fighting for.
Exactly. Exactly.
They, they, they,
Exactly.
they, they, they are trying to, you know, make a point of what they don't know anything about. So this kind of people, I always call them social media foot soldiers. These are the kind of
That's
people who just come out and they'll be trying to have some kind of misunderstandings with
exactly.
people and everything,
Exactly.
and don't
Trying to
even know
have
what they are
relevant.
doing. Like
Right.
no experience about what they are doing. So one thing that I always emphasize is that when you are embarking on a mission, you know your purpose on earth and
Yes.
you know your plans. Don't give a
Any attention to these people. Any attention to these people. It looks like
you know, after all, you know what? This kind of people, trust me, in this earth that we live, there is no I mean, there are, you know, there are some people who will never like what you are. Your best you do, you know, just to bring the I mean, just to make people have a good life. Trust me, everyone would not like what you're doing. But then if you want to become successful in life, always focus on your mission, your journey, and your purpose, as well as your vision. That is what makes you have a good results at the end of your journey. But when you are focused on the bad things that people talk about you, look, when you are doing something like and people talk bad about it, as long as you know what you are doing, focus on what you are doing and count those people who are saying bad things about what you are doing as your motivators.
you know,
They
that's
will,
how I roll anyway. That's how I roll. I just believe in show and tell. That's what I believe in. I believe in if I'm wrong, you know, prove it. You know, and what I'm gonna say, I'm gonna also do it. And then we can't, you know, it also gives a lot of people little ground to deal with you when you're actually living the life that you talk about. You're actually exhibiting the things that you talk about. You're actually achieving your goals. You know, that's what we talk about all the time on this channel is focusing on implementation, you know. So thank you, Prince Ayoko, for your comments. I
okay, my
appreciate
sister, but
that.
there's one thing that I want to share with our brothers and sisters
All
before I
right, go
leave.
ahead and
Okay, so this is
wrap
it.
it up.
In life, whatever you are doing, focus on what you are doing. Either people like what you're doing, people don't like what you're doing. Just be focused on what you know is best for you to do and give
That's
yourself.
right.
Have a wonderful night, family.
Thank you so much, sweetheart. I appreciate your
You're
comments.
welcome,
Take
my
care,
sister.
Prince Ayoko.
All right, peace.
Big shout outs to Prince Ayoko. representing from the north of Ghana. He shared so many comments. I mean, I agree with so many things that he had to say about the differences. You know, again, coming to the continent requires you to be mature. You know, just like our mission statement is SMP, stands for strategy, maturity, and patience. When you come to the continent, it would actually be pretty ignorant of you to think that, you know, it's going to be smooth sailing here. You have so many dynamics to consider. Okay. You're coming to a brand new country with its own history, its own culture, language differences, you know, and the way forward, and what I actually always encourage you guys to do, is to embrace your new home and learn about your home and integrate with your home, you know, and with doing that, it will be easier for you to potentially innovate a blend, you know, a blend of your new environment and what you have to contribute and the knowledge that you want to share. You know, those of you that are, you know, sharing your experiences about the continent should never, ever, ever be deterred by detractors. I wish I would care what the people put in the comments on my videos. I mean, I really wish I would care. Huh? I'm busy out here migrating to new countries. I got a business going. I'm doing music. I got other projects. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I'm just going to say what it is. I don't have time to be looking at the comments and be letting that impact my progress and legacy. We've got to be mature. Anticipate when you come here. Anticipate when you come here cultural differences. Be prepared to deal with it in a mature fashion. I love this comment that Lazinia left. She says, I like the level of maturity explaining issues both on the continent and abroad. You are meant to be in Africa. Keep enlightening. Big shout outs to you, sweetheart. This is true. You know, Prince Ayoko talked about there are different type of travelers. Such a great point. You know, and those of us, again, residing on a continent, we see it, we know it. There are people from the diaspora coming here simply to escape America. Okay. They're not interested in Africa. They're not interested in a lifestyle here. They're not interested in the people here. These kind of people are going to be those that gravitate to other diasporians. Kind of click up, kind of, you know, don't kind of see themselves a bit superior to the locals. Okay. You're going to have the tourists, like he talked about. They're just here to survey. Oh, yeah, I like the beaches. Afrochella was lit. Oh, yeah, I want to go see Black Star Square. You know, those are places here in Ghana, events here in Ghana. That person's a tourist. And then there's the others of us who, this is our home. This is where we want to be. This is where we feel happiest. If someone wants to negate, nobody going to tell me, guys, listen, nobody's going to tell me that Ghana is not for me. Nobody's going to tell me that my life in America was more promising than my life here in Ghana. Nobody's going to tell me that my life in the UK was more promising for me than my life in Ghana. Nobody can tell me that. You should never allow these people, like Prince Ayoko said, social media foot soldiers. You should never allow these detractors to have that much relevance in your situation. If anything, use them to be the motivation. You know what? I'm going to show them. You know, a lot of you guys that have been a part of my platform for a long time, you know some of the comments. Huh? I will always remember people in my comments. They got silenced. I don't even see them anymore on the channel. Well, Gina, if Africa's like that, why don't you live in Africa? Why don't you move? You know, you be talking this and that on YouTube. Why aren't you there? But when I moved, where were they? Huh? You see, I'm not a YouTuber. I'm not a YouTuber. I'm a real person making real moves who shares information on YouTube. There's a difference. A YouTuber comes out here and puts on for the people. A YouTuber is driven by the people. It's driven by the desires of the people and the movements and the trends. I'm not that. And, you know, I don't know if Ari Lennox would ever see this video. But if she did, if I was her, I would probably remix and put my comments and say, "Hey, look, my comments still stand. I had a thought, a second thought, and I decided to put my comments back up because that's how I felt about Ghana. And I'm not going to let you people have that much power over what I'm doing." This is definitely, we talked about this, Nana. Most of the comments did not come from Ghanaians. There's so many other people that could have done it, you know, and even just like the language that was being used is not how they talk here on the continent. You know, maybe you guys may not be aware, but for instance, like swearing is not big here. Okay, swearing is big abroad. Okay, swearing is a normal part of like the US language, the UK language, but here it's really offensive and it's not common. So when I saw that comment that was like, "You should shut the F up," that was American all day long. You know what I mean? That was definitely not someone from Ghana. You're seeing through my comments, and you're seeing actually here on YouTube, how diasporans are interacting with the Continentals. And this is not the experience that they're having. You would imagine that us living here, if that was the sentiment of the locals, that they don't want us to be here and we should shut the F up and we're romanticizing Africa, you would think that, yeah, the African superstar is going to tell you. And you know what I mean? Happy Companion's going to tell you. And Juliet's going to tell you. And, you know, Matrell on a Mission is going to tell you. And we have all these people that are out here on the continent, and the consistent message that they say is, "Hey, the Continentals, look out." You know, the Continentals have helped me do this and this and this and this. And I also second that sentiment. I've never, not once, been here and made to feel unwelcome. Never, not once. Never, ever, ever heard anything like that coming from a continental African. That is, to me, that is a Western mentality, because the West is bully. They are bullies. If you don't agree with them, if you don't share their ideology, they're cursing you out, they're insulting you, they're telling you to shut up, they're trying to suppress your opinion. That is West. That's how they do stuff in the West. They're nasty, judgmental. That's how they do stuff in the West. Okay, we see, for instance, these ADOS people, these FBA people, so mad that Black Americans are choosing to get out of that environment and try life somewhere else. Why would you be mad that we're trying life somewhere else? You know it's a war zone over there. Why aren't you concentrating your efforts in your home of America, where you're indigenous and all that stuff? Why not? Why are you worried about what the other people that's doing? Why are you mad that people are having success in what they're doing? Huh? Weren't you the same people that said we wasn't going to make it happen? Weren't you the same people that said it wasn't going to work? Weren't you the same people that said we weren't welcome? You know, so I really wish that that young lady would have, you know, again, stood her ground. But obviously, you guys are saying a lot of comments about, obviously, she's an entertainer. Okay, she's just kind of a face. There's a lot of people behind her. She has contractual agreements, and she has her fans, and, you know, God forbid she gets canceled by the Black Americans or the Americans at large for saying that she loved Ghana more than anything else. You know, these are the realities of the kind of life that she lived. She's not like me, or like Matrell said, "I'm free." You're damn right. They ain't free. They can't say what they feel, especially if what they feel is not the popular consensus. You know, the popular consensus is, if you're an American, then that's the end all be all. That's the place you're supposed to live and die. And no place else better be better than America. But we all know that's a lie, especially on my international travelers. Okay, international travelers. Let me see a number 2. You know, when you started traveling out of America, you got to start seeing the world. You started questioning stuff. You're like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. This is not aligning with what I thought I knew about such and such location. You might have actually said, you know what? I like this place better. You know, wherever it is that you visited, it could be Europe, it could be Asia, it could be, you know, that's what happened to me, to be honest, when I went to the UK first. You know, I went to the UK first in 2014, and I said, wait a minute, this is better. They got a state of the art public transportation. You know, I was all about that because I had a car in America and it was just like so expensive and stuff was always happening. And, you know, I would definitely take public transportation. I mean, obviously, I take private cars here in Ghana. I didn't drive in the UK. If I can use public transportation, I'm all for it. I think it's better for you, better for your fitness. It's more affordable. So when I went to the UK, that was one of the first things I noticed was that they had a state-of-the-art transportation system. Okay, you could actually get from the airport to anywhere in the country by train. And I really like that. You know, if you go to the UK, they have stations of bicycles where you can rent bicycles for the day. And they have, you know, they have scooters and stuff like that. So the town I lived in, Northampton, for instance, a lot of a lot of students will take these little scooters, you know, around to get to school or take the little bikes. All that stuff is great. You know, the UK is considerably more clean than America, which I love that too. And the people, surface value, very friendly, very polite. I was on the train with my suitcases. White gentlemen were actually, hey, do you need help? Are you all right? Do you know where you're going? My first experience in the UK, I said, yeah, they lied. In America, I like this. And as I begin to travel even more, you know, eventually I went to Ghana in 2016. I said, oh, I like this best. I like this even more than the UK because the weather's great and there's Black people everywhere and lots of parties, cute boys, the cost of living. Yeah, this is the next move. You see, I tell you all that to say that those in America with only American exposure, unfortunately, have limited knowledge about the world at large. And they think what their news has told them and the stereotypes that they have heard and the depictions that they've seen, they think that's actually accurate. And they want to try to fight and contend with people that have actually seen with their own damn 2 eyes the truth. So actually, we've talked a lot tonight, and I want to thank Prince Ayoko for being the person to call in tonight. Also, big shout outs to Antoinette, my super chat donor today. I would just close by saying, like I mentioned, you know, several times during this broadcast, do not be deterred by erroneous people. You know, do not be deterred by erroneous people. You know, those people that were making comments on Ari Lennox tweets and Instagram are so irrelevant. You know, and I'm willing to barter 99.9% of them probably have never been to Africa and or, you know, they're on the run. A lot of these African migrants that, you know, want to stay in the West and you know, these are the kind of characters and or white people and or trolls. Because I guarantee you the people on the ground, their experience is contrasting with the response to that woman's experience. I think people are pissed that we're having um, a great experience here on the continent. I think they're pissed that it's working out for some of us. You know, I think they're pissed that they're over there suffering. And because of their stubbornness and ignorance, they're going to continue. Because in their opinion, when we left the West, we were supposed to be struggle life. All right. Struggle life was supposed to be the move. And because we're not struggle life, that creates the anger. That creates the jealousy. So big shout outs to the family. We had a lot of you guys here today. Please make sure that you like the stream. If you have not, big shout outs to my moderators, everybody with a wrench. Don't forget, you guys can continue to support the stream. I'm shooting my new music video momentarily for Ghana is Good for Me. Big shout outs to all of you that have contributed. Special shout outs to Ayana, and also something for the holidays that gave me, sponsorship directly here in Ghana for the music video. Big shout outs to those of you that supported the GoFundMe and have also super chatted during. We're moving slow and steady. See, I can't be stopped. Any of my no limit soldiers know. So don't try. We no limit soldiers and we don't die. All right, family. Well, I've spent a whole hour with y'all tonight. So big shout outs to you guys and keep pressing forward. 2022, make it count. And start making it count right now. Until we meet again, stay black and true. If you ain't black, just stay true.